welcome to part 2 of this video where we're looking at all my kit and equipment. If you haven't seen part 1, check it out. It's all about the first line belt. Good video if you want to check that out, because today we're moving on to second line and third line. All right. So second line being your plate carrier or your main load carrying system, and third line being your day sack, patrol pack, whatever you call it. So the idea, just very briefly, with the first line was that you have that on at all times in case you don't have your second line or indeed your third line to hand. Okay, so that's where that whole first line, second line, third line thing comes from. But today we're going to look at helmet, plate carrier and day sack. So starting off with the helmet then, this is the current British Army issue Virtus helmet. It's made by Revision, the guys that make the iPro. What have I done to it? Not an awful lot. It's mainly the camouflage. The helmet's really good. You know, we get this integrated night vision, or for me nowadays, GoPro mount, and we also get a sort of twisty thing in the back here to help adjust the helmet to your head. So it's a really good helmet. It's nice and light for what it is. Obviously it's full ballistic. Camouflage wise, what I've done, I've put an old school British desert DPM helmet cover, just roughly chopped up to give it a bit more of a rustic look. I've got some scrim there, and I've also some old scrim netting, and I've got the handmade sort of scrim stuff here on the top. I can take that on, and I can put that on or off as I need it. I've got some elastic here that keeps that in place. Also allows me to add any natural cam, because also, you know, we should be adding probably about 30% natural camouflage to things like this, things like ghillie suits as well. So that gives me the ability to do that. Also got a counterweight pouch here on the back because I'm running the GoPro nowadays. Nice little back badge there, rifles back badge made by Stab Solutions. Check those guys out. That's about it for the helmet, really. I've not, you know, it's just mainly the camouflage and the counterweight pouch there. Moving on to the plate carrier again, current British Army issue. It's the Virtus plate carrier. I'm a big fan of it. I think it's a good bit of kit. It's called I think it's called STV, Scalable Tactical Vest. At the moment, it's in the plate carrier configuration, but you can open up these flaps here on the side to make it more of like a body armor, slightly more protection if needed. That's the whole scalable side of the name there. But for myself, for my needs currently, plate carrier is fine. So what have I got on here? Starting at the top, I've got this. There's so much now that's getting passed via, sent via WhatsApp. You know, you get your orders on a Milsim via WhatsApp, or you're using, like a GPS app to find your way around the battlefield. So I've got this mount here for my phone, just a cheap €10 phone case that I've sprayed up, and this mount here that I bought secondhand off a buddy. I drop that down, do what I need to do, flip it back up, place it there, get the retention there in place, and away we go. I've also got this Gerber, it's actually a seatbelt cutter. That's from my days when I was an armoured vehicle instructor. That's there to cut the seatbelts in case of an accident, in case you get trapped. But I find it really useful for things like paracord and setting up tripwires and stuff like that. So I keep one of those. Nice little callback there to one of my jobs when I was back in the army. Ammunition wise on the plate carrier, I've got just a triple mag pouch here from Tasmanian Tiger, and I've actually added some Kydex inserts as well. Okay, so that doesn't come with this, comes with like an elastic bungee, but I've got the Kydex inserts there. Big fan of the Kydex, guys. Just lock your magazine in place, it's not going anywhere, and then quickly withdraw it when you need to reload. Now, for some reason, the Virtus STV comes with 7 lines of molly instead of 6. So it does make, life a little bit difficult, but I've managed to add this radio pouch here on this left here with a bit of imagination and some cable ties. So I've got my radio in there. Currently, I'm not running any kind of like headset or anything like that. I'm just kind of taking it out of the pouch, talking on it and placing it back in. I do need to look at getting a new headset set up, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But it's nice down there. I can activate it there through the pouch as well. So no great shakes here with the radio. And then we've got the Dangle Pouch. I think these are great, and this one actually holds quite a lot. I've got 2 pouches in there. It's great for notepads, my slate cards, things like that, pens, tools. Any sort of bits and pieces that you need to stash away quickly. What else have I got in here? Yeah, so permy pens, things like that. and yeah, I think there's like a screwdriver in there or something. And then obviously a bit of morale patch on the outside there. These dangle pouches are great. They keep things to hand and they keep them largely out of the way. So that's my body armor setup, or my plate carrier setup for now. I would say that, you know, this is a really good setup, but obviously you have to be quite economical with the space. All right, so that's why we see a lot of current serving members of the British Forces. They're really thinking outside of the box on how to get the maximum out of their STV, and then actually, you know, their first line, or the shooter's belt as they would call it. You know, it's a real balancing act. But once you get it nicely balanced, I'm a big fan of this setup. So moving on to third line or backpack day sack. This is from Warrior. Great little day sack, because if you're not using your helmet, you can stash your helmet away in here. If you want to, like, you know, use a cap or something like that, you're getting a bit fed up of the helmet, you can stash your helmet away in there. For the meantime, what have I got in there? I've just got a poncho, like a wet weather poncho, just in case. I mean, out here in the Canary Islands, yes, it's very sunny, but we do get some quite variable weather. So I keep one of these ponchos to hand. Why have I got a poncho instead of like a waterproof jacket? With the poncho, I can just sling it straight over everything quickly. I'm not bothered about getting wet, but my electric, you know, my AEGs, my electric replicas, electric riffs do not like getting wet. So if you just sling that over you, you're protecting your weapon as well. So that's kind of why I'm using that. What else do I carry in here? I try to carry sort of as little as possible. I've got like a multi-tool here, like a SOG multi-tool or a Leatherman. Just in case we have any weapon malfunctions or anything like that. And then on the sort of outside pouches where we need things to hand quickly, I've got a little packet of wet wipes in here just in case nature calls. On this right hand side here, I've got a speed loader for pistol. I've also got this little pouch in here where I've got some CO2 canisters. All right, so because I'm running the Thunder CO2 grenades and I do like a CO2 pistol, it's always handy to have some CO2, but because of that rattling sound, I've got this little pouch here, which was made by a buddy, and that just helps keep it just not quite as noisy. So CO2 and pistol ammunition, so I normally run 0.28s in pistol, and on rifle I normally run 0.25 depending on the weather. So I need to keep those pistol rounds separate. On this side here, just a few little snacks. You know, if we're out on like an 8-hour milsim or a 5, 6, 7-hour milsim, and I need a bit of energy, so a few snacks are on the outside. Remember, this is all stuff that you need to access quickly. You don't want to be digging around in your day sack when you need a CO2 canister or to replenish your ammo. And then in the main compartment, Camelback. Don't leave home without Camelback. I normally have about 2.5, 3 litres. Usually go through that pretty quickly though. Spare iPro, Block Tactical, Zero Fog iPro, always carry those with me. And then I will have my main speed loader for my rifle magazines. Okay, that'll be nicely full up with ammo. And that's about it, guys, really. In that main compartment, all I've really got is my Walter, my ammo, and my iPro. Poncho there. Obviously, we looked at the snacks and things like that, just in case. I probably would also have, I don't have it in there at the moment, I'd also have some little alcohol gel, just once you've answered nature's call, you want to maintain your hygiene. And then another speed loader and the CO2 pouch. So in the day sack, that's pretty much all we're carrying, okay? Because at the end of the day, guys, if we're on like a 5-hour milsim, 6-hour milsim, something like that, well, that weight's going to add up. Obviously, as you start drinking the water, you're going to be going through that. But that's really all I'm carrying. Just ammunition, a bit of food, bit of admin, and obviously just in case we get some wet weather out here in the Canaries, which happens a lot more than you might think. So, third line. Second line, helmet. Obviously, we covered the first line in the first video. So, this is pretty much all the kit I'm carrying, guys. Like, there's not much, you know, what you see here is what you get. Obviously, my slate cards as a commander, I like to have all my guys' information down on there, and notepads and pens and things like that. So pretty much what you see here, apart from weapons, is what you get. You know, all this sort of stuff is in evolution. We're constantly changing. Come back to me in 6 months, guys. I'll do another video in 6 months, and something on this will be different. Something over here will be different. And that's good. That's progression. That's great. We want to see more of that. But for now, especially with some big Milsims coming up at the end of the month, this is pretty much what I'm going to be running. Yes, on a 24-hour or 36-hour Milsim, I probably would have a little bit more in there, perhaps a little bit of warm kit as well, just in case at night time, you know, like a fleece or something like that to go under your wet kit. Perhaps a little bit more food, perhaps a little bit more ammo, things like that. Maybe some Silum, some chem lights, but largely, guys, just to give you an idea, this is the kit that I'm running. So, just to recap then, if you've got any suggestions, if you think I could be doing anything better, fire it in the comments. If you want to know where to get hold of any of this kit, equally drop me a message or drop me a comment and I'll get back to you. Apart from that, guys, hope you've enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, all that jazz, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.